Hey everybody, it's Paul Ritzler here again, and today I'm going to be giving a lesson on quartiles and statistics. Now, what are quartiles, you may ask? Well, they are basically data that are arranged into four sets. So you have your minimum value, your lower quartile, your median, your upper quartile, and then your maximum. So I'm going to give a demonstration on how you can calculate this. So I'm going to create my data set based on the problem that I have over here. So let me write my data set down. Okay, so I have my data set here. And now as you noticed, like in the last video, I talked about mean, median, mode, and range. So this kind of combines with that a little bit because as you can see, this data set is arranged from least to greatest. So when we're finding the quartiles, basically, so what we want to do first is we want to find the median, so that way we can be able to find the lower quartile or the upper quartile. So, one sec. So our median consists of two numbers, basically. So whenever you have two numbers as your median, you basically add these numbers together and then you divide by 2, which will give you the median. So 5 plus 3 is 8, and then 8 divided by 2 is 4. So that means that our median would be 4. Alright, so then now we have our median here, and then we have our this consists of our lower quartile and this consists of our upper quartile. So this problem is asking about the lower quartile. So when we ever find the lower quartile, we basically find the median of this number, these numbers if we're finding the lower quartile, and then we find the median of these numbers if we're looking for the upper quartile or quartile 2. So when we find the median for this one, we find that there are two numbers again, so basically 2 and 2. So when we add these two together, we get 4. Then 4 divided by 2 would be 2. So that means that our lower quartile would be 2. Okay, so our lower quartile is 2, our median is 4. So then when we're finding the upper quartile, or quartile 2, which is close to the maximum, we'd find the median of this again. So we find that it's 8 and 8. So add together, you get 16. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So that means that our upper quartile, or our quartile 2, would be 8. And basically, whenever you're looking at this, you'll find this in a box of whisker plots whenever you're dealing with data. So basically, when you have like a box of whisker plots and you graph it, you'd have your maximum value, your quartile 1, your median, quartile 2, and then your maximum value. So this is all the information I have. So in this problem, it gives us the data set that I wrote down, and it's asking for our lower quartile. So when we look back, we found out that our lower quartile was 2. So then when we type it in, we have 2 as our answer. So then we submit it, and then there we go. So now we have a little more challenging problem over here. So I'm going to write this data down from least to greatest. So Okay, so I have my data arranged here from least to greatest. So, and this problem is asking for our upper quartile. Well, if you look back in the demonstration, when you first find the median, you find the median of this set of numbers together to get your upper quartile. So the median is basically dividing this data set in half. So whenever you're dealing with these are your quartiles. So first let's find our median. So our median would be 64 here. And as you can see, these sides of the data set are equivalent to each other because this median divides it in half. So the median is 64. So then when we're looking for the lower quartile again, we'd find the median of this half of the data set. So that means that our lower quartile would be 48. So alright, so now we're looking for our upper quartile next. So when we find the median of this side, that means that it would be 80. So our median would be 80 for this side. So our upper quartile would be 80. Okay, so in my information here, my median is 64, my lower quartile is 48, and my upper quartile is 80. So in this problem, it gives us the data set, and it's asking what is the upper quartile. Well, if we look back, we calculated it, and we found out that the upper quartile was 80. So when we type in our answer here, we type in 80. So then we submit our answer, and there we go. So I hope you found this video useful, and my next video I'm going to be covering standard deviation, and I'm going to show you how to calculate it by hand. So basically I'll be demonstrating how you can calculate standard deviation by hand. Many people choose to use a calculator, and I don't really have a problem with that, but for me, like, I like to challenge myself to calculate by hand and everything. So, but anyway, I hope you guys found this video helpful, and click the subscribe button below, and I will be making more videos in the future. Alright, you all take care, and I will see you later. Peace out.